Going on, horror fans? Skidgore here, back with another video. Thank you guys for watching. It is Friday the 13th, so happy Friday the 13th to everybody out there. Us horror fans is kind of considered a slasher type holiday, you know, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do a top 25 favorite of my slasher films. No particular order at all, except the last one. The last film I have in this list is my personal favorite of all time. Other than that, it's really no kind of order, I guess. So alright, well, I got a shitload of movies, so let's hop right into this, alright? First, thank you guys for watching, Jars. It's just soda. It's too early alcohol yet. Later, definitely. Alright, so let's fucking hop into this, alright? Number 25. 1992. Candyman. Candyman, of course, made Tony Todd immortal, a total legend and horror icon. Stars a slave, murdered slave, killed by bees, arm chopped off, instead has a bloody hook now. Out for revenge. If you say his name 5 times, there'll be hell to pay, basically. Shot in Cabrini Green, Chicago, which is a very creepy location, I might add. I've been there. Based on a short story by Clive Barker. Really good atmosphere, great film. Virginia Madsen is amazing in this film as well. Definitely one of my favorites. Number 24, 2012, Turnfight Killer. Turnfight Killer is a very brutal modern film, kind of a modern take on, I would say, William Lustig's like Maniac with Joe Spinell. Kind of that vibe, like a really dirty film. You feel the dirt when you watch this one. Killer's really brutal too. Like, he's a fucking asshole. Like, really unsympathetic. But great actor, excellent actor to play him. Really twist ending at the end. Also, a little demonic stuff going on. Really good slasher though. Good gore. Really relentless movie. Check that one out. Number 23, we have the 2014 Crossbear. Oh man, Crossbear is absolutely brutal. Adam Albrandt directed this one. Basically an religious killer punishing people for their sins with a hammer. One hit at a time, basically. He takes everyone to this factory and just chops the shit out of them. Really cool movie. Check it out. Go to Toe Tag, support the underground, buy it. Number 22, 2009, we have The Collector. Now, I've been putting off watching this movie for the longest time. I hear such good things about it. I had it on the shelf, and I just never watched it, and I actually watched it, and it blew my fucking brains out of my head, man. I loved it. Amazing story about this guy who's desperate for money. Him and his wife are desperate for money, and the house he was working on, he knows all its secrets and knows a vault to get all the money, so he basically burglarizes the house, can't say that fucking word, while the family's out of town on vacation, and so he thinks, at least, but it turns out that somebody got there before him and basically could pass for a member of Slipknot. He's got this fucked up mask, he's really brutal, he tortures them in the basement. And he sets all these traps up around the house, man. It's just so cool how it's done. It's God, man, this is an awesome movie. If you ever seen The Collector, check it out. Number 21. This movie, Psycho Holocaust, totally skipped my radar for the longest time. And I heard it was filmed in Clintonville, Wisconsin, and Clintonville, Wisconsin is not far from where I live, in the Manitowoc, Two Rivers area. So it's pretty cool having this in your own backyard, so to speak, you know, like a really brutal slasher film that was made around here. This this movie has a ridiculous scene with a strap-on saw dildo going into the anus of an unfortunate victim. That's the one everyone talks about, man. But Psycho Holocaust, good movie, man. Awesome slasher / torture movie. Number 20. Happy Birthday to Me. I think it's from 1980. Hey, I know what that. How they got Glenn Ford as a cameo in this movie, I have no idea. Melissa Sue Anderson is a very hot and amazing actor in this movie as well. Happy Birthday to Me is a classic. That's usually on most people's list. So is this one on number 19, another Canadian slasher classic, My Bloody Valentine. This is the original, the best. The story of Henry Warden, you know, the guy with the miner with the pickaxe that chops the shit out of people in the mine, and just, I love this movie so much. One of my favorites. Everyone knows that one. They should at least. For 18, we have from 1977, The Toolbox Murders, starring Cameron Mitchell at his craziest. Plays this deranged apartment attendant that terrorizes the tenants in his apartment, and it just, you know, he's got the drill, he's got this little toolbox everywhere, you know. Awesome performance, Cameron Mitchell. There's a scene where this lady's masturbating in the fucking bathtub, and he just comes in and shoots the shit out of her, and nails her to the wall, puts one in her head. It's brutal, man. Awesome movie. I think it was a Video Nasty first time as well. Number 17, 1982, Beware of Madman Mars. I love Madman. Madman is one of my favorite slashes of all time. I absolutely love this movie. The atmosphere, the story around the campfire of Madman Mars, is one of my favorites. When he's hanging from the tree also, it's very effective. Very effective movie. Awesome. Check it out, Madman. Number 16. Wow. The cover basically says it all on this one, man. Brutal, violent, oversexed, over the top, amazing. And that is Ryan Nicholson's Gutterballs. A sleaze fest, just unbelievable brutality in this movie. I mean, death by 69. The ball cleaning scene, you know, gets his head. Oh man, it's so cool. So many great moments in this one. One of my favorites. BBK is the killer in this one. His name is BBK. Just terrorizes people in a bowling alley and just brutalizes them, man. I mean, bowling pins to the head, just heads exploding and shit. Ryan Nicholson is great. I'm glad to hear that he's doing well now. I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I got all the latest news on him. It seems like he's doing really good, so it's good to hear. I hope he makes more out of control, crazy, fucked up movies like this. Gutterballs, highly recommended. Number 15, we have Lucio Fulci's classic 1982 New York Ripper. Now, there was a rumor going around that Fulci hated women. And I can see how people would see that after watching this movie. I mean, a razor blade cuts a fucking tit in half, and the tit juice flies everywhere. A woman gets fucking split up of a fucking joy trail. I mean, this movie is so brutal towards women. But Fulci does not hate women. I know. It was just a rumor, but it's easy to see how that rumor started by watching New York Ripper. This is one of Giordano de Razzi's best gore outside of, like, you know, City of the Living Dead or The Beyond or even Zombie. But New York Ripper is such a brutal film. You feel the sleeves of New York when you watch this too. Just porno theaters, just really nasty shit going on in this one. Fulci Lives. Number 14, besides, you know, Day of the Dead, Tom Savini is probably some of his greatest gore effects are in this film. He even says that this is one of his favorites. Blowing Marty Granger's head off at the end, it just explodes. And that is 1981's The Prowler. Excellent film. The guy comes back from the war and just he's on a rampage. Also called Rosemary's Killer. Excellent movie. Joe Zito, who also directed Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. One of the best in the fucking Friday series, in my opinion. Excellent film. Oh man. Number 13 goes to 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, this movie created a lot of controversy in the 80s. A bunch of parents tried to actually get it pulled out of the theater. I think they did, actually. And they did, you know, they all complained because of Killer Santa Claus traumatizing their kids and shit. Lena Quigley gets impaled on deer antlers, which is pretty cool. Really cool movie. I loved it. Number 12, Alone in the Dark from 1982. This film has a stellar cast of Martin Landau, Jack Palance, and Donald fucking Pleasance. Donald Pleasance's character stars as like this, the head doctor of this insane asylum, and then there's this huge power blackout, and all the inmates eventually break out, and they're just terrorizing this guy and his family, and it's just really well done. Good music. There's good punk rock in this movie. Excellent 80s slasher. I love it. So much going on than your typical slasher too. I mean, really good characterization in this one too. Alone in the Dark. Number 11 goes to Marcus Cook's 2003 100 Tears. Now, if you're a fan of gore and red shit flying everywhere, 100 Tears is where you need to look. Marcus Cook's effects. Marcus Cook, in my opinion, is like the Tom Savini of our era, I think. I mean, the guy is just amazing. Like Die Die Delta Pi, Death Scourge Service, and of course, you're a Bloody Bible Camp, and of course, his work in the American Guinea Pig series. Bloodshock's coming up too. The guy is just unbelievable in gore effects. He's Tom Savini of our era, in my opinion, and he really lets it fly in this one. There's this killer clown with the 100, what the hell is he called? The Teardrop Killer, yeah. And he's got this huge ass meat cleaver. He just carves people up. There's this one scene where he just splits this chick open and her guts just fall out of her chest and shit. Awesome. Laps this people's heads off with this thing, this huge meat cleaver type thing, man. Just awesome movie. Loved it. Number 10, and after this I'm going to check the camera and make sure we're still rolling here. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing half the time. 1982, we have Nightmare. Nightmare is a great movie. This little kid who sees his dad fucking this whore, pretty much chops the shit out of him with an axe. There's shit flying everywhere, blood just all over him, everywhere. It's just really effective. Tom Savini was a special effects supervisor on this film. He didn't technically do the effects, but I think he was a supervisor on this one. But yeah, man, this is from Code Red. Excellent movie, Nightmare, one of my favorites. Little modern one here, number 9, 2004's Wolf Creek. The character of Mick. I gotta see who this guy plays him. I kind of forgot. John Jarrett. The character of Mick. This is also based on a true story, the backpack killer in Australia. But the character of Mick is one of the best new boogeymen, I think. I mean, the guy is just... His laugh is just so fucking great. You know, I can't even do it, but he's a creepy motherfucker. Also, Wolf Creek 2 is amazing. I actually like Wolf Creek 2 better than this one, but this is where it started, so I figured put Wolf Creek 2 in this list. Number 8 goes to probably the most gory film in this list, and that is Headless from 2015. This movie has got to be seen to believe. I mean, if anyone's a fan of a movie called Found, I did it in the first part of my favorite movies of all time. Basically, there's a short film. In that film, that the character of Marty sees, it's called Headless, and it was so disturbing where there's this guy in this skull mask that just rips people's eyeballs out, chews on them till the eyeball juice just flies everywhere, cuts chicks' heads off, fucks them, sticks his dick right in the eye sockets and fucks it. I mean, it's this really nasty movie, and it was such a success. The short was such an success and Found that the director decided to make another one, like a full length based on it. So it's really cool. I guess this is a limited edition, number 895 of 1000. It's pretty cool. Awesome movie. Still sealed. Number 7, I don't know whether this is a slasher film or not. I put it in the slasher list because it's one of my favorite films of all time. And there's a lot of slashing in it with scissors. But I don't know, it's more than just a slasher film. It's more like a home invasion movie too, but I don't know. I put it in the slasher because I loved it so much. It's a France horror film. And it is Inside from 2008. Starring the great Beatrice Dale in the role of this crazy fucking woman. Awesome movie. This poor pregnant woman who is invaded by this crazy woman, basically tries to cut her unborn fetus out of her with a pair of scissors, and it's just... And then she kills everyone that comes to the house, basically. Really brutal film, really good gore in this one. I put it in the slasher, I think it is. I'm gonna check the camera real quick, make sure we're still going. Okay, I haven't fucked anything up yet, that's good. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Cheers, everyone. Alright, where were we? Number 6, 1983. We have the classic Pieces. I love Pieces so much. It's kind of a giallo in a way, because it's got an identical killer to kind of look like the killer from Bird with the Crystal Plumage with the hat and everything. But carries a chainsaw, man. God, some of the most ridiculous, brutal kills. Of course, the little... You know, the boy chopping the shit out of his mother, which starts the whole thing with the puzzle piece and everything, and chainsaw violence. Of course, the tennis player that's pretty much sawed in half and pisses herself, and that was really disturbing scene for the time. This is a video nasty for the longest time. It's just everything about it is great. Of course, you have Linda Day's over-the-top hysterical performance when the killer kills the chick. She says something like, That bastard was murdering her! Bastard! 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 She says it like 3 times, really hysterical, it's hilarious, I love it. Christopher George is amazing in this film as well. It's the police officer trying to figure out the murderer and the murders. Pieces is great, man. Check it out. If you've never seen Pieces, buy it. Number 5, from 1983, Sleepaway Camp, Felissa Rose. This movie is has one of those holy shit endings. Basically, it's what everyone remembers. The chick with the dick. Good kills, though. Really good story. One of the best like camping movies outside of like, you know, Friday the 13th or The Burning or, you know, something like that. But Sleepaway Camp is a classic slasher film. Loved it. Now it's campy. The acting is somewhat horrible in this at times, but it's such a guilty pleasure. I had to include it in this list, and I love it. It's from 1988's 555 by the Mighty Massacre Video. Support them. The 555 Killer. Basically, there's this cop who's kind of an asshole to everybody, trying to track down this killer. He suspects that it's, I don't know, a witness to one of the murders. He's like a colonel, and he just obsesses about this colonel, saying that he's like the killer. He's the guy doing all this shit. It turns out he's wrong. There's this dude in this Hawaiian shirt and a wig, and he looks like he's a psycho hippie, basically. But then you find out his real identity at the end, and it's kind of a twist, man. It's really good. Excellent gore effects in this movie. By Jeffrey Lyle Sagal, who did Reanimator and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Also really good movies. But yeah, 555 is great. Go to Massacre Video. Fucking buy it. Number 3, 1988. I'm just crazy about this store. Gotta love Intruder. Intruder is one of the best slashers. I love it. What other movie do you find both Raimis hanging on meat hooks? Some dude gets his whole head just crushed in a meat grater or whatever, and of course Bruce Campbell is a crooked cop at the end. Awesome movie. Awesome movie. Really good atmosphere with the store. You don't think a store could be so creepy, but when the lights go out and there's no hope, man, shit hits the fan. It's awesome. And the girl's boyfriend that starts the fight in the store is actually Greg Nicotero, who is from K&B Effects, which is really cool. Awesome movie, Intruder. Classic 80s slasher. Oh, we got 2 left. So here we go. Number 2 favorite slasher film of all time from 1980, the infamous William Lustig's Maniac, starring the great Joe Spinell as Frank Zito. I think Joe Spinell and Michael Rooker and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer and whoever the guy in the movie Angst, those 3 people are like some of the best. Well, the guy in Seventh Day is really good too, but man, I absolutely love Maniac. Tom Savini gets his head blown off. This movie really pissed off a lot of people. A lot of women's group boycotted it and stuff because there's violence towards women. Carolyn Monroe is really beautiful in this film as well. Maniac, excellent movie. Yeah. Here we go, man. Number 1. Number 1 favorite slasher film of all time. that honor goes to 1981, The Burning. Cropseed is a mean motherfucker. Guy with the garden shears rips people up with the garden shears and impales. Of course, the raft scene that is so infamous. I remember the first time I saw that raft scene when I was a kid. Oh man, it left such a big impression. I saw it on Tom Savini's Tom Savini Greats video, you know. Shows how he did it and everything. And The Burning is just my favorite slasher of all time, or none. I absolutely love this movie. It has everything that you want in a good slasher film. Great acting. You actually care about the characters when they get diced, basically. You kind of develop kind of a relationship with the characters. Like when the kids die on the raft, I mean, man, it kind of makes you feel bad because they didn't do anything to Cropsey. You know, Cropsey's just pissed off because he got burned in a practical joke gone wrong, horribly wrong. And he's taking his anger out on these kids, these innocent kids, when he really should be killing the people that did it to him, you know. But Cropsey's an awesome character. In my opinion, he could have been like, if they would have kept making more burnings, he could have been right up there with, you know, Jason, I think. He's such an iconic. Madman Mars, too. I mean, they should have made more Madman movies also. But The Burning is a great film. My favorite of all time. There you go. So that is Skidgore's top 25 favorite horror film, slasher films of all time. I'm gonna check the camera real quick. Got a little bit of time yet. So what I'm gonna do now is show some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list, but these movies are all great. Check them out as well. I'm not going to talk about any of these. I'm just going to throw them at you because I'm running out of time. Number 1, Cat in the Brain. Awesome Fulci flick. Graduation Day. Killer Party. Blood Cult. First shot on horror film, I believe. Awesome movie. Burning Moon, Olaf Ickenbach. Slaughterhouse. Stage Fright. Sledgehammer. The Stepfather. Terry Quinn is great in this one. There's one that made me laugh. Stitches, really modern, good horror slasher, loved it. Clown House, a shitty bootleg, but that's the only way you're going to get a movie about a pedophile, you know. Excellent movie though, awesome atmosphere. Lost After Dark, awesome modern slasher. Bloody Bible Camp, Marcus Took goodness. Cold Prey, Norwegian slasher. Carver kicks ass. I love Carver. Thank you, Tom from Horseball, for bringing this movie to my attention. I loved it. Thank you. Loved it. Charles, brother. Don't Go in the House. Awesome movie. Escort Service. The Hills Run Red. Shaka! What's Craven? Finger looking good. Seventh Day. I don't know if this is a slasher. It's more of a serial killer film, but it does have slasher elements. The Cottage, a good horror comedy. House on Sorority Row, one of my favorites. Could easily made the list. The Sleeper, awesome movie. Silent Night, kind of a modern telling of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Terror Train, Jamie Lee Curtis. Better than Prom Night, I think. I don't know if this was a slasher because it's more of a true crime film because it happened in Texarkana in 1946. The Phantom Killer in Town Dare at Sundown. Can't help but think of Friday the 13th Part 2 and Psycho Holocaust. Mask is awesome. I love it. From Canada, Curtains. I love that old hag mask. Awesome. Charlie's Farm. I love Charlie's Farm. Awesome. I think it's an Australian slasher. Yeah. The killer in this movie actually makes Kane Hodder look small. Pretty weird. And I thought I'd just throw this in there because it rules. Found. There you go, guys. Thank you all for enjoying that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'll have another video up at some point. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. And, you know,